But I think for accumulating snow, tonight and tomorrow really going to be the target, guys.
Well, as Phil mentioned, wintry conditions are on the way, and that can make driving a little more difficult.
Good day, Columbus reporter Elisa Henry. She is live at Bloom Driving Dynamics. Elisa, are you going to show us your skills here?
Good morning, Adam and Maria. You know, later on, I'm hoping to have a lot more skills to show, because right now, I don't know that I know all the winter driving tips that we'll need, but by the end of the show today, I'll know and you'll know exactly what to do. You know, the National Safety Highway Patrol says that you're more likely to get in an accident in the wintertime than you are in the summertime, and we want to avoid that. So today, we are here at Bloom Driving Dynamics. I'm going to get inside of this car coming up, and we're going to go out on the track, and we'll talk about what to do if you spin out. We'll talk about how to get your car ready for winter. We'll give you all the tips that you need to get ready for winter driving, because we want you to be safe out on the roads, and we can even hop inside this car really quickly. This is a nice Ford Fusion here, and I'll be inside this car giving you all the tips you need to get ready for winter. Back to you.
She's also going to stay warm inside there too.
Be safe, Elisa. Show us what you got a little later. Thanks.
With the Arctic blast headed our way this morning, it's a good idea to stay prepped on the roads.
Good day, Elisa Henry. She is live at the Bloom Driving Dynamics. Elisa, you ready?
Good morning. Yes, I am ready. And if you're just joining us, you're probably waking up to some dusting of snow on your car. There's some a little bit on this car because it's been sitting outside. And that's right. We are here at Bloom Driving Dynamics, and I'm with the owner, Mark Bloom. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So, Mark, you know it all, right? Because you own the school, right?
Well,
you can help us.
I don't know that I know it all. I'm supposed to be able to do I'm supposed to be able to do everything, and my son Mitch just told me I'm not very good at picking up the pylons, so I need a little work on that, but otherwise, yeah.
So tell us about the Bloom Driving Dynamics School.
It is what we call advanced driver training. It is not driver ed. Okay. It is next level driver training. The difference between education and training is classroom and a textbook versus seat of the pants, real world driving situations where
so you already have your license. You could still benefit from this class.
Actually, our minimum or our minimum licensing requirement is a temporary permit. We would rather see the kids sooner than later.
Okay.
And develop good habits up front rather than have to, break bad old habits when they get here. So.
And for somebody who maybe just moved to Columbus, maybe from Miami, you're in for a rough winter. I can tell you that. Can those people also benefit from this class?
Absolutely. We primarily market to new teen drivers.
Okay.
But we've had many adults go through the program. A lot of times a parent will take the program with their teen, which is often very humbling for the parent, which we kind of get a kick out of that. We had a 72-year-old teenager go through the program a couple years ago.
A 72-year-old teenager?
Referred to us by AAA, and he told me at the end of the day, a man who had been driving for more than 50 years told me he was going to change everything he's been doing in a car after the one day with us. So.
Well, we know coming up you're going to give us some actual tips. You're going to get out on that spin track. I'm kind of nervous about that. I've never spun out before, so you'll definitely want to stick around for that. Are you good winter drivers, Maria and Adam?
I am not, no. So I need to take this class.
That surprises me about you.
Why?
It doesn't. Thanks, Elisa. We'll check back in with you here shortly. Good days. Right. Elisa Henry is live at Bloom Driving Dynamics to help prepare you for the changing road conditions.
Good morning. Now, I am inside of the car at Bloom Driving Dynamics. I'm on, what do you call this track, Mitchell?
This is our spin car track.
I'm on the spin car track, so you know what that means, spinning. And this is Mitchell. He's one of the instructors, and he's also the owner's son. And, okay, Mitchell, so tell me what to do. I'm going to hit the car and drive, obviously.
Put it in drive. We'll get back on track over here in between the white lane.
Okay.
And then get up to me about 15, just dead on 15.
Okay.
So then just let off the gas right here.
Let off the gas?
Yep. Stay between the lines, turn in nice and smooth.
Okay.
Start saving to the right.
Whoa!
Right. There you go. And we'll get back on track. Pretty good save.
Tell me about this track.
It's about 1/10 of a mile long. It's supposed to replicate kind of a rural 2-lane road out in the country.
Now, I am scared to death of spinning in winter weather.
Yeah.
So how can I, first of all, how does it happen? How does someone spin?
Well, most manufacturers' cars are designed for understeer, but obviously when winter weather comes around, we get a lot of oversteer, which is pretty much spinning out. So most of it really is just driving too fast for the conditions. That's one of the big things we teach at the school is you have to drive for conditions, not necessarily the speed limit.
Okay, so if I am spinning and I slam on the brakes like this, Whoa, and I spin all the way around.
Yep, slamming on the brakes will actually make it worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's important to have, as someone who I get really anxious sometimes when I'm spinning.
Yeah, real
what's the
flustered.
most important thing to remember?
Well, a couple things. Probably the biggest thing is to remain calm. You know, a car is a tool. It's not going to do anything unless you're calm and you can control it and do stuff with it.
Whoa!
Yeah, I might need to back up. Yeah.
Well, I'm learning a lot here today with you, Mitchell. And coming up, we're going to have even more instruction from here at Bloom Driving Dynamics. You guys like my spin action? That was pretty good, right?
Not too bad.
Maria could do better.
No.
Hey, stay safe, Lisa. Good tips, thanks. 7:54.
Plus, Elisa Henry is live in Southeast Columbus. Good morning, Elisa.
Go again. Spin. Good morning. Coming up next, we are talking about more winter driving tips. Stay tuned.
You can prepare for winter by becoming a better driver.
What are you saying?
That you're not a very good driver?
We're going to have a discussion. during the break.
Uh-oh.
You know who's a great driver? Good Day's Elisa Henry.
At least she's trying to be, right?
What's going on, Elisa?
I am trying, you know, and earlier I was out on the spin track here and I spun around. I've never done that. That was actually really amazing. And I'm with Mark Bloom, who is the owner of Bloom Driving Dynamics. Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us, we're outside of the car now. We're talking about getting our cars ready for winter. What are the things that we need to think about?
Right. Well, first thing to remember, I think, is cars break down either in extreme heat or extreme cold, and we're obviously getting into winter now, and that's usually where a component that's close to breaking down is going to fail.
Okay.
When there's an extra load on it. So
we've got the hood open here.
Right.
So what are we looking at here? It smells great.
One of the first things I would check, and by the way, if you don't work on your own cars,
Which I don't.
make sure you've got a good mechanic.
Okay.
Obviously, we recommend a AAA approved facility. Reichert Automotive is a AAA approved repair facility. So get your car checked out by a good mechanic.
No, I can do
before
some
winter.
basic stuff. Like I can check, the fluids and things like that. So
absolutely.
Is that what we need to do first?
Right. Keep an eye on things like, one of the things that I would check with winter coming is your battery. Make sure your battery's working properly. Make sure there's no corrosion on the battery terminals, maybe under here. That it's fairly new. You can have your battery tested. They'll put a load on it and see that it's up to spec.
Okay.
Keep an eye on your coolant bottle where the antifreeze is for winter. That is right there. A big one is the accessory belt. It's down inside the front of the engine here. If that belt breaks, you don't have an alternator, which means there's no electronics for the car. You don't have a power steering pump. You don't have a water pump, so the engine will overheat. If that belt breaks, it's all bad. And if it's close to fatiguing, it's probably going to break that morning where it's very contracted and tightened up, and you start the car and it'll just snap.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. We're going to talk more about winter driving tips coming up, so stay tuned. I'm also going to get back in the car and try out some more spins. That was a lot of fun. Do you guys practice spinning?
No. But they say that you should.
Do they?
Yeah, so that you know what to do
Yes.
in case you actually, spin out.
She's a teacher, folks. Good Day's Lisa Henry. She is behind the wheel right now, taking a little test drive. Elisa,
Are you
doing?
driving?
I am driving. Good morning. We are on the spin track here at Bloom Driving Dynamics, and this is Mitchell, one of the instructors. Good morning.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. And Mark Bloom, his father, is the owner. And we're out here just getting ourselves prepared for driving because the winter weather is supposed to get really bad tomorrow morning, as Phil said, and we want to be ready in case we spin out. So, Mitchell, I'm going to hand you the mic. Tell me what to do.
Okay, well, let's just get back in the lane over here.
Okay, I want to stay inside the lane.
Yep, go about 15, so it looks pretty good.
Okay.
So just let off the gas. We'll just cruise through here.
All right.
Turn in nice and smooth,
Whoa.
crank to the right.
And then go the other.
Oh, there's
Wow,
a
that
big
was a
spin.
big spin.
A little too big. All right, let's get back in the lane over
Okay.
here.
So we want to avoid spinning. How do we do that?
Probably the biggest thing would just drive for conditions. Don't really pay attention to the speed limit. If it's like 25 and that feels too fast for you, then just drive slower than you feel like you need to.
Okay.
Another thing, coming up to a corner here, use your brakes in a straight line.
All right.
Slow it all down.
All right.
Let off the brakes. Turn in nice and smooth.
Okay.
Might get a slide here.
Slide,
And then
slide,
back
slide.
on the gas.
Go.
Crank it to the right. And then back to left.
Oh, no.
Oh, little overcorrection there.
overcorrection there.
There you go.
Okay, wait. All right, I'm good now. Okay. I think I'm getting too overexcited. Do I need to stay more calm?
Yeah,
No.
one of the other big things is to think about the car as a tool. It's like a hammer or a screwdriver. You can't expect the car to do anything for you unless
Okay.
you do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So don't get too anxious or overwhelmed by the car doing something weird. You're the one that's controlling it. It's not a
So if I'm
living
going
thing.
this way, I need to come back, bring the wheel back.
Yeah, back to the right.
And that just keeps it. And it's not. You're not supposed to slam on the brakes, right?
No, if you use the brakes, all the weight will transfer to the front.
Like this.
Yeah,
Wow.
all the weight will transfer to the front.
Thank you so much, Mitchell. And I'm going back to you guys, but coming up, we're going to talk more about getting your car ready for winter.
You know, I
Back to
think,
you guys.
Elisa, you're doing a great job there. You know, really good behind the wheel. Now, Phil Kelly.
Good morning. Now, you don't need this yet, but coming up, we're talking about what you need in your car and tires to get you ready for winter weather driving. Stay tuned.
For you, Elisa Henry is in Southeast Columbus. Good morning, Elisa, and I know with the wintry conditions we're going to have, this is a good place to be today, isn't it?
Good morning. That's right. It is a really good place to be. And I'm out of breath because I just ran to grab this in a freeze because, Mark, this is one of the things that you need inside of your car, right?
Well, you don't need to carry a bottle with you so much, but definitely want to get it checked before winter. It's either a summer coolant or it's a winter antifreeze to keep the water in your engine from freezing when it gets below 32 degrees. And, you know, that way your engine's not going to overheat or anything like that. Definitely something to check before winter weather driving.
And one of the things that I get really worried about now, we're practicing, you know, not spinning out and things like that, but one of the things that helps is tires, right? Having the right tires.
Right. Like I said, if you're concerned at all about winter weather driving, get a true winter tire.
Okay.
The tire compound, the makeup of the rubber is different. It might have a more aggressive tread design to grip in snow. A true winter tire will have holes in the tread so you can actually put metal studs in the tire to give you really good grip on ice.
Is that necessary here in Columbus? I know we get bad weather, but is it that bad?
It's not necessary until that one day you're driving in a lot of snow or ice, and,
Yeah.
and that's, you know, that's the trade-off. It could be just that once or twice a year, but they'll definitely make the car much, much, much better in the
What's
bad
the
weather.
tricky thing about driving in Columbus winter weather?
One thing I've noticed, I've lived in Columbus almost 30 years now, and the thing that I've noticed is it's actually pretty hard to drive in the winter weather in Columbus because we're always so close to that 32, 3, 4, 5 degrees, real close to freezing. You don't know if the pavement is wet or if it's starting to glaze over. The conditions could change during your 20-some minute or half an hour commute. It could be, you know, wet on the highway, but if you get onto the surface streets where there's not enough, you know, tires, heat, friction, all those cars, it might actually start to ice up a little bit. So these are all things you should be constantly monitoring and being prepared for.
I know one thing that we talked about earlier was spinning, and we want to have Mitchell come on over because he's showing us that we don't want to spin, and if we find ourselves spinning, then what do we do?
Right. What you're going to see with Mitchell doing here is the car's starting to slide around a little bit, so he's practicing when in doubt, both feet out. We take the foot off the gas and we don't touch the brake. He's looking where he wants to go. Look at the road. Look where you want to go. Your body will make the car go where you are looking. You'll notice that as the car starts to spin, he's not jumping on the brake pedal. What that does is that transfers weight off of the rear tires, which are already dying for grip. So you'll actually just make the spin bigger and faster.
He's doing a great job. We have more winter weather driving tips coming up, so stay with us. Back to you, Maria.
All right, I'm pretty impressed by how he's handling that car. With the wintry conditions expected for tonight, it is a good time to prepare for those slippery roads. All morning long, Elisa Henry has been learning about driver safety. She is live in Southeast Columbus. Elisa?
Good morning. That's right. Here at Bloom School of Driving Dynamics, that's a mouthful. We are learning about driving in inclement weather. It's actually the next level to just driver's ed. It's good for teenagers, but it's also good for adults. Maybe you just moved here from Miami or somewhere where you're not used to snow. Get ready because driving in Columbus in the winter can be really tough to do. However, we're here with Mitchell, who's one of the instructors. He's going to get us ready. All right. Are you ready, Chayton? No? Well, get ready. All right, so tell us what we're going to do here, Mitchell.
Well, we're just going to drive on our spin car course, which is supposed to replicate 2-lane rural roads.
Okay.
And just slide the car around, have some fun.
All right, let's go.
Ready?
Okay, so when someone's driving in this, you know, inclement weather, maybe the roads are a little icy, and we don't want to spin, so what do we do?
Well, the first thing is don't panic and use your brakes, because that'll just make the spin worse.
Okay.
You really need to stay calm and try to think of the car as a tool. You're the one that's driving it, obviously, so you need to just...
You have so much control here. How are you doing that?
Well, going into the corner, if you turn in, we're going into the right, and just save the car to the left. Steering the skid might be confusing for some people, so one way to think of it is if you're going into a left corner, you're going to correct to the right. It's just the opposite direction of the corner.
All right, well, we have to wrap now, so take us for a big spin. Hold on tight, guys.
Ready?
Yep. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Mitchell. You can find out more about them at bloomdrivingdynamics.com. Back to you guys. That was fun.
All right, Elisa, thanks so much, and definitely some good advice for us all morning long.